So this video is for those of you who feel like they're just behind in life. You're 10 steps behind where you should be at, 10 steps behind where you pictured in your brain you would be at this point in your life, 10 steps behind your peers, 10 steps behind just simply where you imagined yourself to be. And that's kind of where I feel right now. Not in the sense that I feel like a failure, um, but those thoughts do come into play here and there. Being that I'm 27, I'm now working at this restaurant slash pizzeria when I was previously making, I get around like 90K, which isn't amazing, but it's more than your average Joe. But in the field I was in, finance is really not anything. But yeah, I'm going from 90K to now making like $15 an hour at tips. So it's a major change, and I touched on it in a different video of why I just left that job, uh, which I'll link in the description. But there was a multitude of reasons on essentially why I left. More so just being it wasn't the career path for me, and I know what I want to do. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can navigate that, how I can get to that point where I'm financially independent and just free from people just managing me, free from people telling me what to do. But the point of this video is to inspire some hope for those of you who feel like you're a failure, feel like you don't you're lost essentially. You don't know what's going on in your life. You don't know where you should go, what you're doing. So I'll touch on my story a little bit, and then hopefully it'll resonate with you, and you can take some steps to kind of figure it out. So as I mentioned, making about like 90K, working in finance, so typical desk job, doing what you got to do, clock in every day, 9 o'clock, leave out of there, or it's actually 8:30, and then dip out of there around like 5. Um, so typical white collar job. Um, Figured out that wasn't for me. So out of the blue one day, I was just pissed. I put in my 2 week notice, just let everyone know that like, hey, I'm gonna dip out of here. So my team essentially knew what was the word was. They knew based on like how my emotions changed from when I first started working there to that present moment, that present day. They can tell like I wasn't fully present with what I was doing. I wasn't providing that high energy that I typically did when I first started working. I was just going through the motion, which led me to quit. And now I'm working at a pizzeria and slash, yeah, I guess restaurant where people dine in, shit like that. But I would say it's more so like a pizzeria. And I was just cleaning the other day, just sweeping after we closed, and I was just like, fuck, man. I just came to the realization, like, I'm really went from making all that money to now I'm sweeping floors, fucking washing dishes, taking order for fucking like bratty ass high school kids because it was across from it is across from a high school, and I'm like, yo, my life really did a 360. Like I was doing okay, but like look at where I'm at now to where I was. Like I just came to that realization, like I really feel like a bum. I really feel like lost in my life. I really feel like I'm so far behind. Like every day I'll go on LinkedIn just see if I can find a potentially remote job so I can pursue the dream and career path that I want to take. But it does require me to have some funds, some sort of money. So that's why I'm looking on LinkedIn. But every day seeing on LinkedIn, so and so has a new job, so and so is a manager, so and so is this, so and so is that. And I'm just like in my mind, even though it's a bad thing, I'm always comparing myself to that so and so that I see on LinkedIn, that person I went to college with, that person I went to high school with, that person, my neighbor. I'm always constantly comparing myself to other people in their life because we're all around the same age. The people I'm referencing, we're all around in our 20s, 27, 28, 29. I'm just constantly comparing myself to like, damn, like I really feel like a bum. Like, look at what I'm doing now. I'm fucking sweeping floors, washing dishes, taking orders. This is not where I want to be. This is not my goal. I really quit to be in a worse situation. Like I really quit my 9 to 5, where I was making about 90, to work at a fucking restaurant. So I was just marinating on that for a little bit the other day. And just sitting there like, damn, is this life now? But I had to remind myself, everyone who has ever been successful, super successful, not just successful like slightly successful, like successful as in, well, I'm talking monetarily at least, or millions, having millions of dollars, having that financial freedom to go on any vacation they want at the drop of a hat, being able to simply do whatever you want in your life at any given time, any given moment. If you look up any one that you look up to who is successful, super successful, look at their story, look at what they've done, look at where their journey, from the beginning stages. Sometimes you'll see they've been sleeping in their car. Sometimes you'll see they'll be sleeping in the gym floor. Sometimes you'll see they were showering in the gym every morning. They would have to do this in order to eat, and they would have to do that in order to, stay clean, stay healthy. Like look up anyone that you really look up to and look at their grind, look at what they done, look at what they did to get where they're at. And I'm not talking about like your average Joe that's just climbing up the corporate ladder. Like obviously you could do that, but it only gets you so far. It's not going to get you really. That's not for me. Like my mindset is a limited time here. Let's make the most of it. So sometimes in life you have to take a step back in order to continue on forward. Because for me, I was continuing down a path that I didn't necessarily want to take. Like me and my boy, like, touched on this in a different video, but ever since we were younger, we always said we're not going to live a normal life. Like that is against what we wanted to do. We're not going to have the 2 cars. We're not going to have the dog, the family, like the regular family coming in at 5. They're going to work at 9. The corn, the coffee, go on one vacation a year. Like, that lifestyle is cool for your average individual, but that lifestyle is not for me. And I just have to remind myself, any successful, super successful person that's made it to where they're at always had a blip in their journey, multiple blips in their journey, more failures than success. Because people are scared to try things. People are scared to seek uncertainty. People are scared to not take that chance. And this is me taking the chance. Even though it leads me to working at this pizzeria / restaurant, whatever you want to call it, right now, this is where I'm at right now, but it's not going to be where it's not going to be where I'll be at. I'm messing up my words, but it's not going to be where I will be in 5 months from now. It's not going to be my career. I'm just doing it as a means. In this particular moment, I am doing that for a means to an end. I am taking this step back in my career, working at this restaurant, as a means to an end, because it allows me to pursue what I want to do as a career. It allows me to have that freedom to work on the things that I do genuinely enjoy. I am genuinely passionate about. Allows me to have that freedom. But the thing with that is you just don't have the money. You don't have the money. And if you're feeling lost, you're feeling like a bum like me in this moment, I'm feeling like, damn, like I feel like a piece of shit, and like I feel like I'm so far behind and compared, like looking at everyone else. First of all, don't compare yourself to anyone else, because everyone else's journey is different. Everyone else's career path is different. Like, some people are successful at 21. Some people, it takes them 50 years to get where they want to go. Some people, it takes them a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. It takes them a certain amount of time to get to that path that they want to get to. But if you continue to strive towards that goal, dream, whatever you have in your mind, you will get there. The only thing that really makes you a bum, that really makes you like just a worthless piece of shit, is if you don't go out and try to better yourself. You don't go out and try to advance yourself in some way. Like, if you're just sitting home doing nothing and then complaining, then you're the fuck up. Like, you have to, this video is not for you. You gotta reevaluate your life. You gotta figure something out. But just know, for those of you who feel like they have this goal, they have this dream, they have this aspiration, but it's taking a little bit longer than they thought, or it's not necessarily going how you want it to go, and you're just feeling like a little down, a little depressed, even, I guess, sad. You're just angry at the world because you feel like it owes you something, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you shit. So, you're allowed to have those moments of sadness, downness, whatever you want to call it. You're allowed to have those moments, but the biggest thing for me is anyone who's ever made anything of themselves has had that setback. They have several setbacks. They have had moments in their lives where they're like, what is my life right now? What is this? What am I doing? Like, look at any actor, celebrity that you love, athlete. Some people were homeless before they made the jump to where they're at. Look at any director, literally anything. A lot of those people had to take a step back to actually pursue their dream. And the thing with that is you won't have the stability of that income. You won't have the stability of just having a path that's set for you, because you're going down a path. You're more than likely going down a path that is unconventional, that doesn't have the signs, the street signs on where you need to go. It doesn't have the red lights. It doesn't have the stop lights. It doesn't have any of those things. You have to figure it out as you go. And you may be going down a dead end, but you don't know until you get there. So you might have to reverse and continue down this path. But at least you're trying. At least you're trying to better yourself. At least you're trying to seek more than average. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you're just not where you're at, just know it gets better. Essentially, that's the gist of this video. It gets better, but you have to implement the things in your life in order to make it better. You have to do the things you need to do in order to get the things that you want. Simple as that. Like, it's okay to feel lost. It's okay to have those negative thoughts on, like, did I make the right decision? Like, did I make the right decision moving out of my house? Did I make the right decision quitting this job? Did I make the right decision ending this relationship or pursuing this relationship? You're always going to have those doubts when things don't play out how you imagine it to be. Those doubts creep in, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done the things that I've done to get here. But you just have to continue to grind, continue to work on yourself. You're not essentially lost. You're just in a character building mode. That's where you're at right now. You're building that character. You're building that hero. You know what I'm saying? You're that hero arc. That's where you're at right now. You're not lost. You just gotta tweak some things, essentially. So I just hope this helps, man. I hope this helps anyone who's watching. If it's one person, if it's a million people, if it's no one, I mean, it's helping me just talking it out. Just it'll come in time, you know what I'm saying? But you just can't wait. you have to be patient, but you also can't wait. You got to figure out that line. Like, grind, but also know it's not going to come overnight. But it's also not going to come if you don't do anything. So, this is for those of you who feel lost, those of you who just want more in life. Trust, man. You'll get it. You'll get there.